welcome to the Seniors Lead Show. My name is Tia Demo. I am one of the operational assistants with LCC Media Foundation. And what it is the foundation recently procured a grant to deliver painting sessions, hold podcast sessions, and to create a magazine at the end of the day for our seniors with the free seniors magazine that will be delivering at the end of the day. Our guest tonight is Mr. Yash Sharma. He is the community leader here in Edmonton, and he joins us tonight to talk about his experiences in the pandemic and more. Oh, hi.
Hi,
Hi.
T.
Yes,
Good
welcome.
having me
Welcome
on the
to.
show. Yeah, so far.
Yes, yes, you're very welcome, sir. I was noticing something echoing, and I'm not quite sure what is echoing. I
Okay.
don't hear it. Sorry?
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you nicely. I can hear you. Okay, so just to help us to start, can you kindly introduce yourself to our audience tonight? A little
Yeah.
bit about yourself and what you do.
I'm Yash Sharma. I publish Asian Tribune multilingual newspaper for English, Hindi, Punjabi for South Asian community. And I'm living in Beaumont now. And I'm on their committee of Community Events Committee and Canada Day Subcommittee. Very much involved with all the communities. I want that all the communities should be inclusive, and that's all. I love meeting people, sharing my experiences, and helping them at any point of time.
It doesn't sound like you have a busy moment, yeah. It doesn't sound like you have a dull moment with all the committees you belong to. I was just going to say, how has the pandemic been treating you?
Pandemic, yeah, it's a good question, T. Pandemic, yeah, I have been in house for a while since 2019 May. Then I also tasted Corona during pandemic, and that Corona, you know what? Uh, It gave me a jolt for 4 or 5 days,
Oh,
and
you had corona. Was that what you said? Oh, I'm
I
sorry to
tasted
hear that.
I tasted Corona and pandemic.
Oh no, oh no. But you survived. Good on
So,
you, sir. You survived. Well done.
thank you. Initially, it was a challenge. Then I took
Yeah.
some medication for 3 4 days, and became up and running in 10 days time. But pandemic has shaken, our happiness. We are so secluded in our home. We don't have people to roam around. We don't have eateries to visit. So it
Mm.
is a different situation. And as a senior, we are more concerned. I'm glad I had my vaccination, one vaccination. So, but still, as there is a lockdown, so it is very traumatic for a person like me who is with people 24/7. And you know what? If you don't meet physically, you are on Zoom or podcast, it is not that enjoyable. If we are together physically, we have more enjoyment, we have more fun. So my community activities were shut down. So pandemic is no good for us. Not that good.
Mm. So, how do you keep busy then with the pandemic? What have you been doing to keep busy?
In whole of my life, I have never watched movies. So what I did, I took a laptop, I took my tablet, started viewing movies two times a day, and it never happened in my life. Then I have a grandson, which is a blessing in disguise. So I was very busy with my grandson, who is a very little kid. That kept me busy. Movies kept me busy, and my wife was not that well that I'm at home 24/7. So there were a little bit, quick fights here and there, but those were enjoyable.
I find it severely amusing that you say you've never watched a movie in your life.
Yeah.
And now you're watching two movies a day. So which movies did you watch? Were you watching Indian, Asian, English, American? What sort of
I
movies?
was watching Bollywood movies, Indian movies,
Oh,
and
right.
there are two times where a day were very taxing. You are sitting on laptop and watching movies, and whereas I'm a people person, I'm more into public speaking, I'm more inclusive, so that was not to my taste. I wish a good day should come when I get out of this house.
Oh, I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with
Thank
you.
you.
As in, it must be really difficult because when you get tired of watching films, what else do you do? Do you do you start knitting? What do you do? Because you're really active. So what
Thank
I
you.
like to do is I like to take you down memory lane just to ask a bit more questions about how you got here. So the first question about your childhood is, um, do you remember? Did your parents tell you anything about the day you were born?
My parents are not alive, unluckily, and I was born in India. I'm a very old person. I was born in 1956. So childhood was full of mischievous things, and going to school with friends, and bicycling to school. Then you see, cramming so many things. It is cramming papers, learning English. So it was very rigorous exercise. And in our days, education level was very poor. So you would be surprised to know English learning started to me at sixth standard, A for apple. It started from sixth standard.
Mm.
But I slogged myself to be up to speed with English speaking, to be up to speed with communication. So childhood was not that enjoyable, but with a lot of efforts, I came up to my level of expectations.
You were a very determined young man then, as
Thank
you are
you.
now.
I
So
I
to
feel to be young now as well.
to put it into context, in the India you grew up in 1957, were you allowed to have pets? Were you allowed to have any pets? Did you have any pets to cuddle, to play with?
No, we never had that culture having pets. But when I came over to Canada, we do have one pit bull with us, Rocco, and we enjoy every bit of it with my pet.
All right. So when you were a teenager, what did you do for fun?
Fun we used to have. Now people, children of this age, they have electronic games, right? They have cell phone. That was not even a TV was not at our home. So we used to play little games with our friends around. I may not be able to explain, kind of. That games were just like you see cheap games where we are playing with ball. We are having a cycle tire and we are playing with cycle tire. Then we used to nothing much like that. More of a physical thing which is missing in present world, like you see running around playing football or playing with bicycle tire. I don't know whether you have seen in your life.
I grew up in Nigeria, and bicycle tires, or maybe just tires in general, were put around. So if you're caught stealing in the marketplace, they put a tire around your neck and they burn you to death. That's what I remember. Really nasty. Did
It
that
was
happen?
all like that.
Did that happen in India?
Yep, it's the same thing,
Jungle
but i'm
justice.
talking i'm talking 5 6 decades ago. But it is all modern world in India, all modern world. You will agree with me, T. World has become global village.
Hmm.
So
Right.
all cultures, heritage, all things are prevalent in every part of the world now.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about maybe 2 decades ago. I
Yeah.
don't know if such practice still exists in Nigeria. I don't know.
Oh,
Um, so you let's talk about English language. Did you say you learned to speak English at 15?
I learnt English language from sixth standard. A for apple, B for bat.
Jolly phonics. That's a British way,
Yeah,
British English. Okay.
yeah. So it was at a very later stage. Now we start English learning from KG, right? Even
Yeah.
pre-nursery, that was not there those days.
Okay. So, what did you study at university then? How did you decide what you were going to study at university, and what role did your parents play? Were your parents very strict? Were they liberal? Were they very wealthy? Um, yeah. Could you guide us through what happened at this time of your life, sir?
In our days, parents used to can us, right? So they were very sick that I should take my education. Then after secondary, I went to college. Then I did my master's in chemistry, 1979.
Mm,
So
mm,
I have a face so much sickness from parents, which is missing in the present world,
mm,
right? But that made us right people, and we treat a honesty path. We are dedicated. We want to give back to society. These things came up with the stickness of parents.
mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm. So, were your parents proud of you before they passed? Did you follow their plan for your life?
absolutely, absolutely. And they knew that the ethics which are imbibed in me, and I will come up very nicely. So I work for multinationals in India as well as Canada. I was selling industrial chemicals for General Electric in Canada, and twice I was given Top Gun award. Then by default, I came into media, but that education and my exposure to corporate world, it helped me a lot to become a good Canadian citizen. And I purely believe in giving back to society in any way you can, whether time or money.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. I know that. I'm just wondering now how prevalent was the way your parents dealt with you and the way you dealt with your children.
We had very high respect for our parents, and in present world things are different, in our days we cannot say no to our parents. Whatever they say is a verdict to us. It is fatwa to us. But children, I love my children. I had groomed them very nicely, and I gave them the best environment in Canada. Now they are fantastically well. They understand Canadian values, and so am I. I was a chief guest at one university in India where I stated that Canada plays a very important role in character and career building, which I ditto as on today. I learned so many things while coming over to Canada and staying in Canada. Humbleness, compassion, sincerity, these are the basics, ingredients which a good citizen should have. Compassion is the best thing to have, and that helps you a lot to satisfy your esteem needs and community needs.
Let's talk about let's talk about Canada for a second. Were there any values that you brought from India? I know you've been in Canada for decades now, but were there any sort of values or cultures that were incompatible with the Canadian society at the time you came or
Yeah,
not?
yeah, I do agree we should bring good values. And you know what? We were taught like that honesty is the best policy, and ethics, we should have high degree of ethics whether we do business or we are into job. And fellow feeling, must have a fellow feeling, and that fellow feeling help you to make a good society, and fellow feeling makes you to grow as well. Take along people with you. You should, if you are a good leader, if you take along people, and as I told you, you must contribute in any way you can to the society.
Mm, mm, mm. I hear what you're saying there. I want to move on to your special sayings now. Do you have any special sayings or expressions?
Special sayings?
Yes. My dad was born around the same time you were born, sir, and he used to say, as you walk, you play. No, as no, like if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. Something like that. Like you build, you would open his hands like this. So you see your hands, you make us open our hands out. And you say, you see your hands, you build or you destroy yourself with your own hands. So it made us believe in the value in hard work, in the ethic of hard work. So I'm just wondering, do you have any special expressions you maybe got from your parents or you got from your own experience that you pass on to your children? Anything like that?
Yeah, my father was university employee, and he purely believed in, carrying along, as I told you. And what I learned, and which I want to pass on to my kids as well, compassionate is one thing which I tutor to them and which I practice myself. And another thing is, there should not be racism. We never face any racism. And Canada practice multiculturalism. So, irrespective of our color, caste, and creed, we are all human beings. If we cut our hand, red blood is all same in all the bodies. So, my children, they have come upon this, that all of we are human beings, and we should respect each other. We should respect values, culture, heritage, and with that, we are evolving a very fantastic society. You may be from different origin, you may have different color, but you are a good human being, and everybody should be a good human being.
Hmm. I hear what you're saying. Sounds a lot like Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy,
Yeah.
compassion, integrity, honesty. Yeah, the same thing my dad drummed into me
So
all
I replicated to you as a dad, right?
of. It's the same thing. You know, you hear it so many times that yes, sir. You know, when it would begin, you know where it would end. You know the kind of prompts that would lead to the lecture again. So I know, I know. So you mentioned racism there, and I'm just curious. Is that something maybe you experienced when you came in Canada, when you came here to Canada, or not? Did you ever
No,
experience
yeah.
racism?
I did not experience any racism, and I don't believe that this society has any discrimination. Those
Mhm.
people who are not coming to the level of expectations, or the, set skill of sets, they talk about discrimination. I disagree. There is no discrimination in this society. People are so welcoming, they are so lovable, they want to take care of you. I have seen in winters when I was having skidding of my car, people came up and took care of me, helped me. Helping nature, I find the best in Canadian system. So I disagree there is racism. There could be some little, incidents here and there, but overall, this society, this country is very welcoming.
Mm, mm, mm. And I know you are big on philanthropy and things like that. You're kind, you are first at any you always reach out to help people. I know that personally about you. I'm just wondering if you won $1 million tomorrow, what would you do with the money?
I don't need $1 million. I'll give back to society. I don't need money. I
Would
will
you
put
buy a
I
house?
will put every penny in philanthropy. I don't want $1 million. My life is good without $1 million. So
You
if I
buy a
get
house
it,
for all your children. You buy a house for your
my
child A,
children
B,
are on
C.
their own. I'm glad Canadian children, they don't see to your money, they don't see to your assets.
That's
So get me $1 million and I give to society. I give to your organization.
that's a very good way to answer that question. Okay, so what is the highest honor or award you've ever received?
Honest, yeah, highest honor reward, I do agree. Yeah, people, from our community, they have a lot of associations where they recognize people, those who give back to society. So 4 or 5 organizations of South Asians, they recognize my community work, they recognize my ethics. So highest award, I don't go into materialism, as that I was getting in my job and business. But best award was when people recognize that I'm a person, dependable person, 24/7 availability. And for my newspaper 10 years, I have never charged to any charity who wants to put their message to community. It is free of charge, even as on today, and same thing will keep on prevalent. My best reward has been from community. I don't go into bigger rewards, but yes, 90% of my community, if you meet them, they will say Yash is a right person on a right job and taking care of our people.
Mm, absolutely. Can you talk to us about how you started the Asian Tribune? How long ago did you start? Did you start? What was the story behind that?
It is 10 years ago, and at the age of 55, when I thought that my children are on their own, so a professor of journalism was visiting me from India, and he suggested in 2010 that I should start multilingual newspaper, and it was not existing in our community. English, Hindi, Punjabi. So I came into that. Of course, I didn't make tons of money, but it satisfied my esteem needs, and it also satisfied community needs. As on today, my paper is circulated in Calgary, Beaumont, and Edmonton. And this is the only multilingual newspaper of Alberta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you
Congratulations.
too.
We print Ladies Corner as well. So, and how do you, how are you able to sustain it? Do you print weekly or monthly? How many times a year do you publish?
I publish bi-weekly 26 editions in a year. And because of my strong presence in community, those who advertise, they make good buck by selling their products or services. And another thing is, I make my advertisers Facebook Live. My Facebook has 5,000 followers. So whenever I go Facebook Live, there are 3,000 to 4,000 views, and that make them to have a good footfall at their business or good prospects. That generate my ad revenue because my own physical presence.
Okay. 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 So, what's the continuity plan for Asian Tribune?
It will continue till I'm alive. My children, they are not into journalism, they are not into politics, so I think it will remain alive till I'm alive. That's all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you get any sort of government support for the Asian Tribune?
Federal and provincial governments, they give you peanuts. They cannot make you survive. If I get a little advertisement here and there, I cannot survive my newspaper. So they are only my patrons and advertisers who advertise with me on a regular basis that create a base for my sustainability. I don't depend on federal and provincial. They should hardly be giving peanuts in a year.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. So, what would your advice be for a new media company like ourselves? How do we last in this industry? What do we need to know?
You are putting ladies corner magazine, right, which pertain to ladies. So you should have aggressive marketing. Go to every vendor, go to every shop, go to every store who are selling products and services to the ladies. And ladies spend tons of money as compared to gents. I will live my whole of year in one jean, but ladies want dresses, ladies want makeup, ladies want sandals. So go to such establishments and prospect with them, sell them your you see what value you bring on table. Everybody want value for dollars, add dollars. So big establishment or those shops who are selling their products and services to ladies should be your prospects.
Was there anyone in particular who helped you with the Asian Tribune you like to recognize?
I would like to recognize Dr. Phone Fix. They are into phone fixing, cell phone fixing. I will like to recognize Team Log Group. They are lawyers, our advocates from our community. I would like to recognize Fancy Doors and Windows. They had been with me for the last very many years. And I would like to recognize Everest Educational Everest Educational Consultancy Incorporated. They are my pillars for my business, and they are with me every day in and out.
Mm. If there was a way you could write, bless you, if there was a way you could write a message to each of your children and grandchildren and put in a time capsule for them to read 20 years from now, what would you write to each of them?
I will write message to my children that they should come up very ethically and they should be on the top of in their career. My grandkid is 1 year old. I want to see him surgeon, provided I am alive. My children, they should excel in their fields and they should lead the best life and give back to society.
Do you feel bad that maybe what you said that not one of your children will take up Asian Tribune? Does this maybe bring just a tinge of sadness to your heart?
No, you know what? Since I have come across you, so I will settle with you and hand over Asian Tribune to you. You are as good as my daughter.
That is one way to answer the question, but it's not what I asked you, sir. Maybe that was not a nice question. Forgive me. We'll move on. What was it? Is there anything you might have done differently when you reflect on the course of your life? Is there anything you wish you had done differently?
I already have done differently, but what I feel I came at a very late age to Canada at the age of 48, and in a short span of my 10 years in community service and media, this is a little stay in media and politics. I should have come much early and given back to society as my personality is accepted, but I'm running against time and now I have little time. I should have come very early stage to Canada and contributed to society and country as a whole.
All this coming early, you came at the right time. Now, I'm just wondering, you've talked about your values. Does faith influence anything that you do? Are you a man maybe of faith or of religion?
I believe in interfaith, and we should be, as I'm telling you time and again, we should be inclusive, and we should establish more avenues where we we want to contribute our time and money and make everybody comfortable, spread happiness. I believe in universal brotherhood. Take me to any country and I would love to be with people. So that is a message that as a community, don't there should not be hatred, there should be love for all, and we should spread happiness and love to every existing person in this society.
So how would you define a good life then or a successful life? Is there any such thing?
Yeah, people feel that they have tons of money stashed in their banks. They have luxury cars, they have bigger house, but to me it is not a success. Success is only if you are pleasing anybody and helping them with their issues in life. If my email, my telephone call, or my putting a word to somebody, get somebody food on table, that I feel the best successful indicators in life. Otherwise, other things are all materialistic.
mm,
Create some happiness to somebody, providing what they need to lead their happy life. And I'm glad if I put an email or make a phone call, most of the people get their job done. And to me, that is an indicator of success.
mm, mm. Oh, wow, that's deep. I was just wondering, as we're coming to an end now, is what advice would you give other seniors? There's a lockdown going on in Alberta right now. What advice would you give other seniors or people generally as to how to do well within this 14 days lockdown that we're experiencing now?
Seniors' advice and request is laugh loud, laugh loud every day, every moment. And with that, you will be hale and hearty. Don't be depressed. There are so many roller coaster days in our life, but be strong enough. This corona would be over soon in couple of months, but must laugh louder, whatever way you can. My best therapy has been in my life is laughing loud.
Oh yes, oh yes. Laughter is the best medicine. We're gonna take a short break now, 15-second break to play an advert. And when we come back, sir, we'll give you the final word. Thank you for watching, everyone. This is the Senior Leads Show. Do not go away. Hey, you've been watching the Senior Leads Show with Mr. Yash Sharma, a man much influenced by his time, a man of deep values, a man who enjoys us to laugh, to laugh, to laugh and to laugh. And this is the secret of long life and good health.
Yeah, thank you. I agree what you say, and we should practice every day in and out.
Mm, mm. So what about nutrition and exercise? What roles do those play in good health for seniors?
Yeah, nutrition, whatever is recommended or you afford, you must take. But in my case, I am on elliptical, burning out 200 calories just to keep myself fit. And I do agree, exercise keep you see active in day-to-day life. And being on elliptical or walking around, it is best thing for seniors to keep them up to speed with the life chores.
Mm, mm, mm. We have come to the end of this show, Mr. Sharma. I want to say a big thank you. But before you go, I'd like to ask you for one memorable book you've read, that would inspire our audience tonight.
Yeah, Dale Carnegie book I read, and I believe staunchly in that success and winners are different. They do their things differently, and how to make friends. I'm forgetting exact title, but I read Dale Carnegie book.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah. That's a bestseller, an all age bestseller. Mr. Sharma, you won tonight. I found the conversation delectable, amiable, exciting, inspiring, engaging, and I cannot thank you enough for your time. So we wish you an interesting lockdown.
thank you so much for having me on the show, and I'm
You're
sure
welcome.
your seniors should not be bored after listening to me.
Oh no, I'm sure they won't be bored. We have a painting session every Saturday for beginners. We've not started intermediate painting yet. But if you'd like to join a painting class or something you want to do, please, yeah, anyone can join. I'm going to let you go now, sir. I'm going to end the broadcast, but please stay on for maybe 30 more seconds. Thank you.
Thank you very much.